Welcome back to the channel. All right, y'all, we're gonna jump right on into episode 3 of Swarm. In case you missed the last episode, make sure you check out episode 2 and episode 1 on my previous videos. This explains our character Drea and what she has been going through and what she has been doing. So in the last episode, episode 2, Drea stormed off and drove off and left all of the girls from the strip club by themselves with the man whom they had met his demise. So in episode 3, it starts out with showing photos and videos of Drea's friend talking about Nija and how Nija's the queen and Nija is to be protected and nobody should say anything or do anything to Nija. It goes on as it's seen as this guy's entering his a house or a condo or whatever it is, and he's walking in, he's looking around. Nice place too, honey. It's late. This guy appears to be some social media influencer or whatever it may be. However, when he gets in, he's looking and looking, he hears something. And y'all know it's Miss Drea. Miss Drea hits the man in the leg, and then has the man comes, he's laying on the ground, and she asks him who is his favorite artist. So the guy's taken back by, he was like, what? And then so he tells her who his favorite artist is and whatever, and he goes on to tell her. And then he says, well, I didn't say that Nija was not my favorite artist. And she was like, yes, you did. I got the receipts. So during the process of all that, he said no. And he was like, man, that's, thinking like, okay, that's Twitter. And then she proceeds to hit him with a little sledgehammer. And this guy ends up to being no more. And that's how episode 3 starts. So Drea in there going through the man's stuff. All she getting out of there is food. He got plenty of shoes and nice things, but all she getting is food and cleaning up behind herself, cleaning up the mess that she has made, getting rid of the man. Once Drea leaves there, she finds her new target. She's looking on her phone. Again, she is very obsessed with this phone, and she continues to go back in that old group chat and find out who said what about Miss Nija, honey. Of course, while Drea is leaving Seattle and getting her truck, she gets a little alert on the phone. And lo and behold, this girl named Alice has now said something bad about Nija and is going off up in the little Twitter group chat, honey, just going off. However, somebody found Miss Alice's address and posted it on social media. So Miss Drea decides that she's finna take her drive, and she starts driving off, and Miss Alice is in California. So Drea is now on her way to California. Of course, Drea stakes out Miss Alice's social media pages and everything bad that she has to say. And Alice is all by herself going against Miss Nija, honey. And Miss Alice is all in these different kind of groups, kind of radical groups. And Miss Drea is deciding that, that's what she's going to. So she starts to follow her around and makes it to her destination. So Drea finds Miss Alice at the gym, honey. She gets in this little gym. It's a private owned gym. You got to be a member to get in the gym. And somehow she gets in the gym and sees and finds her. And then she gets a little distracted. So when she gets ready, she goes ahead and follows her in the elevator. And while they're in the elevator, she picked up the weights and got the weight in her hand. I guess she was going to do something to Miss Alice. So she just stayed on up in there and waited till they got off the floor. But as soon as they stopped on the next floor, somebody got on the elevator. Now, Drea recognized the back of the jacket as a concert emblem because she's all about Miss Nija, and she wanted to go to see Miss Nija. So looks like Drea decided to drop what she was doing and follow that guy. And she followed him out the elevator instead of messing with Alice. So Drea ends up crawling in, trying to get into this man's house. And she's climbing into the window. And she go into his house, honey. But he catches her as she comes to his house. And he asked her what she wanted and why she was there. And she didn't say nothing. She just stared at him. So then she said something about they're after me. So he kind of took her in and was like, oh, okay, I hear a lot of this around here. So she just sat there, and he asked if she wants something to eat, and he tried to fix her something to eat, but he was on a health kick, and he didn't eat like bad foods or any foods that were bad for him. So Drea was showing him that she only ate like chips and junk food and stuff like that. But he explained to her that that's not what he was into, and that he was heavy weight. He lost weight, lost over 300 pounds, and his girl had passed away from a heart attack, and she was overweight as well. And that wasn't something that he was into, and Drea just listened. But to make a long story short, he ended up eating the food that Drea had, and Drea ended up pouring the food all on him, making him eat it. And honey, it got a little weird and a little wild with a bunch of food fetishes and stuff going on. And I was like, what is going on up in here? They woke up the next morning. Drea was still there. Food was over everywhere. The man hadn't got sick. And who knows what else may have happened during that process. So the guy ended up saying, I can't eat that kind of food anymore, but I have to go to work and whatnot. So he asked Drea, did she want to go with him? But meanwhile, Drea had already stole his badge and whatnot to enter into like concerts and facilities and stuff like that. So Drea took him up on his offer and got all cleaned up, watched him DJ. She seemed to be, as they went on to the little event, and he DJ'd and set up for all the events that he was at. And of course, there was some superstars and some stars that had parties and whatnot. And he introduced Drea to his friend, and his friend said, oh, she has the right idea, because Drea wanted to go to the after party. After all of that happened, she wanted to go to the real party because she wanted to see Nija. So they ended up, doing whatever, and she ended up locking him into, I guess it was like a storage unit or a food storage, and leaving him there so that she could get away from him and go to the party. So as things went on, Drea ended up finding where the party was and finding out where Nija actually was going to be, and ended up going to the party and walked in there. She wasn't dressed appropriately. She was dressed normal. Everybody else was dressed all fancy and stuff. And as the scene went on, it was like Drea was like she was dreaming that she was there, but really Drea was there in the scene, and she was like really there. And then she kind of like blacked out. But when she came through, people were screaming and hollering, and Drea was looking around like, what what done happened here? But kind of find out, she had done went up to Nija, went all the way up to Miss Nija and bit her. So, baby, I'm trying to figure out what in the world is going on. Why did she bite the lady? She didn't even know why she had bit her. So when she figured out it was her, she took off and ran out that door. You remember now, this is her idol. And she was like just running out the door, and the people were sitting out there looking at her. She couldn't believe what she had done. Thank goodness she had locked old boy up in the cooler, and hopefully he got out or whatnot. But Drea had got in the car and went on by her business and dodged out of there. So this episode ended up with Drea kind of crying, not knowing what happened, kind of like in a little daze, not really accepting the fact that she was actually the one who bit her, and it went on. So I hope y'all catch me in episode number 4 as we get to episode number 4, because we're gonna check out to see what happens to Miss Drea. But she got out, but she did see Nija, but she had bit her. Can you believe that? You don't see somebody who you really care and dearly about, and you bit them? Oh my honey. Well, if you're new to the channel, go ahead and subscribe to the channel and turn on all post notifications so y'all can get some more videos just like this, more reviews and whatever we may have to come on this channel. All right, now I'll see y'all in episode 4.